Hi guys, I'm Dennis. Welcome to my channel, Guy with a Plant. In today's episode, I'm going to say goodbye to some of my plants, and I'm going to tell you why in a while. Okay, if you watched my previous videos, I've moved into this current apartment in July last year. So that was about 6 to 7 months back. And when I moved here, I gave away or sold some of my plants, and I'm going to move again. This time to my own place and a more permanent one. This current apartment is a rental one, so I'm going to move in about 3 weeks time. So I got to curate my plant collection even more stringently. I only want to bring over plants that I really love and plants that I'm really vibing with. Of course, I love all my plants, so it is a really difficult decision to make. But I got to do so because the deadline is coming up really soon. But I got to be really ruthless and to really give away plants which maybe previously have appealed to me before, but not so much now. First and foremost, I'll give away to my family and friends. So for my subscribers who are in Singapore, you're in for a treat. I'm going to do a giveaway for some of the plants, and I'll put the rest of them online to sell. Even for those which I'm selling, you can reach out to me. Just DM me on Instagram. I'll put my handle up here. And for the rest which I'm selling, I'm going to sell them for cheap. So if you see something that you like, just message me. We can have a discussion. For those which I'm giving away, the only thing that I'm asking of you is just to follow me on Instagram and also to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and that doesn't cost you a cent. So let's look at some plants. Alright, the first plant is a watermelon begonia. That's the common name, but this is neither a watermelon plant or a begonia. It's known as the Paeonia repens. It's a very nice trailing plant, as you can see. And this is not even the original plant. I've already sold my original parent plant when I moved here. This is actually grown from 2 very small cuttings, and it has now grown into this very nice specimen. I want to have a close-up of the leaves. You can take a look. It's really very lush. I'd like to show you look at the back, these baby leaves that are growing. So I'm going to sell this plant. Let me know if you are interested. The next plant is a philodendron. This is the Philodendron Florida Ghost. I got it when it was really small, and now it has given me all these very big leaves, even though it's not on a pole. And this is the latest one. So adorable. Yeah, I got a leaf with a spot of variegation. Really mild, can't really see. So if you give it enough light, the new leaf will come out a creamy white. Not like this, I'm not sure why. It has not giving me white leaves. But this is a very decent sized specimen. So I'm going to give away this Florida Ghost. If any of you guys are interested, just reach out to me. Okay, this is the Syngonium milk confetti. This is the original parent plants. I've propagated quite a few, and this is one of the propagations. If you look at the new leaves, they're really beautiful with this creamy pink variegation that kind of reminds me of this raspberry ripple ice cream for some reason. But the older leaves tend to fade away. Maybe I've given them too much light. But it's always giving a new leaf, so it's a very good grower. Very easy, as is Syngonium. Yeah, so this is a propagation. I'm keeping another pot that I've propagated out of wax sticks. I think those are really cute. I'll put a photo up here to show you. So I'm going to give away this pot of cuttings. And for the parent plants, I am going to sell it. The next plant is an aloe. This is the Christmas Carol aloe. Look at the beautiful orange trimmings on its leaves. And this one is actually a pup that I propagated out of this original mother plant. It's definitely way much bigger than when I first got it. I think about a year and a half ago. So I am thinking of giving this to my mom because she loves aloe. So yep, maybe this will go to her, and I'm thinking of whether should I be keeping this. Look how beautiful this is. But if you guys are interested in this, just drop me a message. Okay, the next one is a very interesting ficus. This is Ficus petiolaris, which is not very common. I don't really see many of these for sale. The leaves are really beautiful with its hot pink veins. Look at this. But some of the colors will actually fade away as the leaf matures. And I really like this for its very zen form. Look at this very straight stem, and then ending with this cortex-like base. So this tells me that it doesn't really need a lot of water, because I assume that it will store water here. But it's not really true. It doesn't like to dry out too much. If not, the leaves will actually start to drop. So don't let it dry out. So this is going to be a giveaway. Yes, I'm giving away this beautiful ficus, so you got to really act fast. Okay, the next couple of plants are Philodendron gloriosum. I'm very undecided whether should I keep them or not. Because look at this leaf. It's so big and beautiful. Look at the veins. I got this when it was really small. The size is like this. But this is a new offshoot. Maybe I should just remove this. The other one is a dark form. Look at the veins. It's way more contrasting against the darker green. It's really velvety. And yeah, I think this is more coveted, but look at the size of this. I may keep this, and I am thinking of selling this. And look at the new leaves that are coming out. These are the smaller leaves. Okay, I've decided to gather all the plants. So instead of presenting one by one, which I think is going to take a really long time, I'm going to show them to you together. So these are cuttings of Syntaxus pictus exotica. If you have watched my previous video. So I have 4 pots here. And yeah, that's the mother plant, which is growing really nicely. Look at this new leaf. And yeah, there's a lot of new growth coming from here. Ignore the yellowing leaves. I think I was overwatering this at one point. So I'm going to sell these cuttings for really cheap, probably $2, just to cover the cost of my pots and the potting medium. And yeah, look at this one. This is a really nice pot with very big leaves. So I think this is sitting in sphagnum moss. Okay, next to it is this Philodendron silver sword. I had a propagation video of this as well. I think my ugly plants video. But look at this, it has grown out quite nicely. When I propagated this, all these leaves are really very small. They were tiny baby leaves, and it has grown quite a lot. Yeah, look at the bluish silvery colors of the leaves. It has a really interesting look. I got a cutting in water propagation, so I'm going to keep that, and I'm going to sell this one. I think this is still juvenile, but this is still very beautiful. All right, so next to this, I am going to give away this alocasia, which is really not doing well under my care. Look at this leaf. And the new leaf is pretty small. So I believe the leaf can actually grow much bigger. This is an alocasia mycorrhiza. Yeah, which has very beautiful variegation. But I think I've not given this enough light, and so it's really small and very droopy. It's still sitting in this original potting medium, which is kind of like yellow clay. I didn't repot this yet, so yeah, I'm going to give this away to someone who can actually take care of this. So let me know. Behind this is the Apropinium apicimum. This is supposed to be the silver form. Yeah, but I think he has reverted to green. This is also a propagation if you refer to my previous video on ugly plants propagation. This is a new branch that came out after I cut the original plant. I've still got some cuttings in water propagation. I think they're still surviving. And I'm giving this away. It's a very interesting form, very long leaves. Not your typical epiprinium. And speaking of epiprinium, this is a very beautiful large pot of epiprinium aureum enjoy. This is a cultivar name, Potos enjoy. Look at the beautiful variegation. I propagated this a few times and yet it's still growing, trailing all the way. Look at this. So just a disclaimer, I'm just going to sell this part of the plant. But I'm going to propagate this long vine for myself. Okay, next I have some cuttings of Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. If you watched my previous video as well, when I did the propagation. Okay, I'm not sure what's wrong with this leaf. I am going to cut it off. The rest of the plant is doing fantastic. Yeah, new growth. And I got two pots here. I think this is the original plant. Okay, let me show you. Yeah, this is the original one, which is also doing well. So it has a lot of nodes and aerial roots which you can propagate further. It's a very easy plant, very interesting. Also commonly known as the mini monstera because of the shape of the leaves. Really nice. Next to this is a peace lily. This is supposed to be a Picasso. I thought this is a domino peace lily, but somebody corrected me and said this is looking more like a Picasso cultivar. It's mainly reverted, but as you can see, there are still some variegation. And the new leaf, yep. Let me put this down. The new leaf is variegated, so I think there's still hope. And yes, it's always growing. But some of the older leaves are not looking very good because I gave it some direct sun and I think got burnt. This is quite a large specimen. I bought it when it was really small. I think probably 1/3 of this size. And I'm giving away this one. So, yep, if you're interested. But the leaves are not perfect, just to be upfront. Yeah, there are some spots here and some browning tips, but I believe that the new leaves will be beautiful. Yep, so again, let me know. Giving away as well is this pot of Syngonium. This is the Syngonium 3 Kings. Has very nice variegation and it also has some baby Syngonium Batik here. I actually cut the Batik off. The Batik and these 3 Kings were both growing in this pot and I chopped off the Batik and propagating it in water. So yeah, it's quite interesting. 2 Syngoniums in one. I'm giving away these two. Okay, this is an air plant which is definitely not at its best. It's very dry. I think I've neglected in watering this for a while, but it's still alive for sure. So I'm going to give to anyone who wants this. Okay, what else do we have? Yeah, here we have ficus. This is Ficus plastica tiniki. Very beautiful leaves. I don't think I've shown this very often on my channel, but look at the leaves. Yeah, I've not cleaned this, but so it's a little bit dusty. Very easy, I think, but it tends to drop its leaves. Look at these points here. The leaves at the bottom part actually drop off due to overwatering. So it doesn't really need to be, oh, it's still very moist. It doesn't really like to be overwatered, especially if it doesn't get a lot of sun. At one point, it was getting direct sun and the leaves burned. Give it very bright light, but no direct sun on the leaves. No, you can still give it direct sun, but you just got to acclimatize it really slowly. This is one of my very first plants, which I bought, very first 4 plants. And yeah, it's really hardy and a very beautiful statement plant. Yes, very reluctantly, I am giving this away. So reach out to me. Is there another plant? Right, there is one here. I put it on the floor because it's really big. This is my philodendron burley marks. It's supposed to be a variegated one, as you can see from some leaves here. I got this when it was only a 3-leaf cutting, and over the course of 2 years, it has grown wild. Look at all the aerial roots. I think I need to trim the roots. I think it's getting very unruly. I'm thinking of selling this, the whole lot of this, but I think you probably got to propagate this or to repot this, because look at the way it has grown. It's grown out of the pot. The pot is actually very small, but it has grown out, and then there is this whole bunch here, but it's really hard to cut. I'm not sure whether can I do this. I'm thinking of getting some cuttings from this before selling. I'm not sure how am I going to cut this. The internodes are so close to one another. Yeah, let me think about it. But meanwhile, if you're interested, let me know. There's always new growth coming out. This needs to be rescued urgently. You can get a lot of cuttings from this plant for sure. Alright, I can't move the last plant because it has grown wild. This is the Epiprinium pinnatum, Cebu Blue. Yeah, this is actually a pot of cuttings that has grown even more vines. Look at this, it has grown a vine and attached itself to the wall. And then another vine here. And there's another long vine that has attached itself to the moss pole here. So I'm going to cut off the vines and try to propagate them. And I'm going to sell this pot of Cebu Blue. Yeah, maybe I should just move it out a little bit. Yep, the leaves are really nice. It has this blue and silvery color as well. Oops, I missed out one more. I promise this is the last one. This is a succulent plant, and this is the Obia helipeticola. It produces a very beautiful and interesting flower. I'll put a photo up here. But since I've moved here, it has stopped flowering, which I'm not sure why. Okay, just to be clear, some of these branches here are not rooted. I was trying to root them in water for a while now, but for some reason they are not rooting. The reason why I was rooting it in water was because the base of the plant actually dried up. So I cut it off and was hoping that I can actually rehab it. But it didn't root for a long time in water. So I've placed them back into the potting medium. Hopefully they can start to grow. This part is definitely rooted. That's the original plant, but this one and these cuttings are not rooted. So just for your information, if you want to get this to try your luck. But the flower is really beautiful. Okay, to conclude, and also as a reminder, the sale and the giveaway is only applicable to those who are in Singapore, and you can actually collect the plants at my place. And for the giveaway, you have to be a subscriber of my channel and also to follow me on Instagram. Again, I'll put the handle of my Instagram here. Yeah, I think that's all. So I'm going to say goodbye to all these plants and restart my collection in my new apartment. So that's the end of this video. Thank you for watching. And if you like contents like that, I would appreciate it if you can subscribe to my channel and also to hit the notification bell. Meanwhile, stay safe. I shall see you again in my next video. And remember to show your plants some love.